The British royal family has always been in the public eye, with every move scrutinized and every gesture analyzed. For the younger generation of royals, this level of attention can be overwhelming. Prince William and his wife, Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, have raised their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, with a careful balance of royal duty and a semblance of normalcy. However, being a royal child comes with its unique pressures. Princess Charlotte, the couple's only daughter, has captured the hearts of millions with her endearing personality, cheeky smiles, and her occasional display of youthful exuberance at public events. But as she grows older, the expectations placed upon her, like those on her brother George, continue to rise. The weight of the Windsor family name is something every member must learn to carry with grace and composure. At a recent high-profile event, however, a moment occurred that placed young Charlotte directly under the spotlight, a mistake small in the grand scheme of things, but significant in the context of royal appearances. What followed was a flurry of media attention and a heart-wrenching response from her great-aunt, Princess Anne, that revealed the complexity of growing up in the royal family and the expectations that come with it. It was a sunny day in London, and the streets were filled with spectators eagerly awaiting the arrival of the royal family. It was a grand public occasion, one that would be seen by millions across the world. Charlotte, as always, was dressed immaculately, her hair neatly tied back, and her face lit up with the curiosity and excitement of a 7-year-old attending yet another important family event. The Cambridge children, though young, are no strangers to royal duties. They've attended everything from charity events to state celebrations, often drawing attention simply by being their lively, playful selves. However, this particular occasion was more formal than usual, and the cameras were especially focused on the young royals as they stood alongside their parents and grandparents. As the ceremony unfolded, Charlotte, standing beside her father, Prince William, was visibly trying her best to follow the protocols drilled into her from a young age: the way to stand, when to wave, when to smile. But at some point, the pressure and boredom of the long event seemed to get the better of her, and Charlotte, perhaps distracted or impatient, made a small misstep that drew the immediate attention of the cameras. The incident itself was minor, the kind of slip that any child would make under such circumstances. She tugged at her dress nervously, fidgeted at an inopportune moment, and when asked to follow a particular protocol, a curtsy, perhaps, or a wave, she hesitated, unsure of what to do. To an ordinary onlooker, it might have seemed trivial, but for the royal family, such moments are magnified 100-fold in the media. Prince William, ever the protective father, noticed Charlotte's mistake almost immediately. His instinctive reaction was one of gentle correction, bending down to quietly guide his daughter back in line with royal decorum. He spoke to her in a hushed tone, his expression firm but understanding, as if to remind her of the expectations, while also comforting her in the face of the overwhelming attention. It was a fleeting moment, but it was enough to spark headlines. Princess Charlotte's public slip-up became fodder for tabloids and gossip columns, with some media outlets unfairly exaggerating the significance of the child's minor mistake. Photos of William speaking to his daughter circulated widely, leading to speculation about the pressures on the young princess and how she was being raised to navigate such a high-profile life. For William, the incident was a sobering reminder of the challenges his children will face as they grow older. He knows all too well the scrutiny that comes with being a royal. He experienced it firsthand as a child, and he's been determined to shield his own children from the more negative aspects of royal life. But in moments like this, it becomes clear that no matter how hard he tries, the world will always be watching. Word of Charlotte's public misstep quickly spread within the royal family, while the event itself was soon forgotten by the general public. Those within the royal circles took note of the pressures being placed on the young Cambridge children, particularly Charlotte. One person who was particularly moved by the situation was Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense attitude and dedication to royal duty, has always been one of the most hard-working members of the British monarchy. She has spent her entire life balancing the demands of royal service with the personal sacrifices it often requires, and her experience gives her a unique perspective on the trials and tribulations faced by the younger generation of royals. Upon hearing about Charlotte's mistake and the media storm that followed, Princess Anne felt compelled to reach out to William. She had watched with concern as the younger royals were thrust into the spotlight at an ever earlier age, and she understood better than most the toll that such public exposure can take on a child. In a private conversation with William, Princess Anne shared her heart-wrenching thoughts. She told him that Charlotte's mistake, though small, was a poignant reminder of the immense pressures that royal children face, pressures that often go unspoken but are always present. Anne expressed her deep empathy for Charlotte, recognizing the challenges of growing up in the public eye and the emotional strain it can place on a child's sense of self. But what truly touched William was Anne's reflection on her own childhood and the lessons she had learned from her parents, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Anne recalled how her parents had instilled in her the importance of duty and resilience, but had also shielded her and her siblings from much of the public scrutiny that today's young royals face. Times have changed, she acknowledged, and the media landscape is far more invasive now than it was when she was a child. Still, she offered William words of comfort and wisdom. Princess Anne's response to Charlotte's mistake was not one of criticism or disappointment. Rather, it was filled with compassion and understanding. She reminded William that mistakes are part of growing up, and that even the most seasoned royals have moments where they falter. It was a heart-wrenching but necessary reminder that Charlotte, despite her royal status, is still just a child. "I know it's hard," Anne reportedly told William, her voice gentle yet firm. "I've been there too. We've all made mistakes in front of the cameras. But Charlotte is strong, just like her mother and you. She'll learn from this. Don't let it weigh too heavily on her shoulders." Anne's words struck a chord with William. As a father, he had always strived to protect his children from the harsh realities of public life. But Anne's perspective reminded him that mistakes are a natural part of the process. Charlotte, like any child, would make errors along the way, but those mistakes would not define her. Instead, they would help her grow into the strong, confident young woman she was destined to become. Anne also spoke about the importance of resilience, a trait that has defined her own life. "The world may judge her for a moment," she told William, "but what matters is how she rises from it. Charlotte has a lifetime ahead of her, and she will have many opportunities to prove her strength and grace. This is just one small chapter." The conversation left William deeply moved. Anne's understanding and support, born from her own experiences within the royal family, gave him a renewed sense of perspective. He realized that while he could guide and protect Charlotte, she would also need to find her own way, make her own mistakes, and learn from them. In the days following the event, Catherine played an equally vital role in supporting Charlotte through the aftermath of her mistake. As a mother who has carefully navigated her own journey within the royal family, Catherine understands the unique challenges of balancing public expectations with personal growth. Catherine has always been a source of strength for her children, and in this moment, she reminded Charlotte that being a princess doesn't mean being perfect. She reassured her daughter that everyone makes mistakes, even in front of millions of people, and that what matters most is how she carries herself afterward. Together, William and Catherine helped Charlotte put the incident behind her. They explained that while the public might focus on small missteps, her family would always be there to support her, no matter what. Charlotte, with her innate resilience and the support of her parents, soon bounced back, her confidence intact. Princess Anne's response to Charlotte's mistake not only provided comfort to William, but also served as a reminder of the lessons learned from the past. The royal family has faced its fair share of scrutiny over the years, with each generation navigating the challenges of life in the spotlight in their own way. For Anne, the key to surviving and thriving within the royal family has always been resilience. Her own life is a testament to this principle. As a young princess, she was often overshadowed by her brothers, particularly Prince Charles, the heir to the throne.